Alright, welcome back to episode 2 of my botting to max series using AHK. In this video clip, I went back and redid my magic script. So previously I was bursting this monk, which was terrible experience per hour. So I went ahead and remade the script so that it curses the monk, as you can see here. Now this script is actually doing something else as well. So every once in a while you will successfully curse the monk, and then you can't use the same spell for like 5 or 10 seconds. So what the script does is it looks at the chat box and it detects that message. It'll say something like, your foe's defense has already been weakened, or something like that. And when it detects that message, it'll swap over to the other spell, and it'll use that spell until you get the same message, and then it'll swap back. So this script gets like, I want to say it gets like 21,000 experience per hour, so it's not bad. It's very cheap. You know, body runes are really cheap. I think I was here until about 44 magic, and I'm going to be here till at least 55. At that point, I'll probably start high alching if I can, or maybe I'll use some other training method. I might be getting lots of magic experience from doing like super glass or super heat to do crafting, but we'll see. But yeah, this script works pretty well, so I'm happy with it. Happy with how it turned out. So we're back to cutting this oak tree. Now, at this point, my wood cutting level is like 40 something, and I'm still using a steel axe. I don't know how to get a better axe at this point, so. But I realized that doing this is actually a good use of time, because I'm going to need these oak logs for construction. If I can get like a shit ton of oak logs, I might write a script to convert these logs into planks by walking to the sawmill. I was reading like different methods for doing that efficiently, and one of the methods is using a hot air balloon, but you would need a lot of Castle Wars teleports, and looking into it, it seems like getting emeralds is kind of a pain in the ass. So rings of dueling, I mean, I don't know if that's really viable. But this is the same script anyway. I think in my bank I had somewhere around like 1,400 oak logs. Not that many, but you know, still an okay amount starting out. You know, I really like playing as an Ironman. I've been playing for about 10 days now, and it's just cool. You play the game a lot differently than how you would if you were playing a normal account. If you're playing a normal account, usually the course of action you take is like, go to the Grand Exchange, you buy all the supplies that you need to train, and then you just like power through them. You know, it's just kind of like soulless. I mean, there's not much fun in doing a lot of the tedious shit in this game, but I think the Grand Exchange really is the root problem. Like, yeah, it's really convenient, but it kind of takes out all the nostalgia and all the memories you had, you know. Instead of people actually going to the different shops and stuff around the world, you know, there's no point. There's no point going anywhere except the Grand Exchange, because it has everything, right? So I like playing as an Ironman. All right, so here's a kind of a different script. This is a port khazard buyer, and this is really useful for buying the supplies needed to make molten glass, which you use to level up your crafting. It seems like crafting is kind of a pain in the ass to level up as an Ironman, specifically because like getting the supplies is really laborious. This script is my attempt to make that a little bit easier. So it just buys the supplies from the trader, it banks them, and then it hops worlds. It'll hop to the next world, and then it resets, and it does the same thing over and over again. So it just loops through that. And this script works great. I haven't had any problems with it, except for the fact that I don't know if this is an issue with the RuneLite client, or if it's an issue with my Wi-Fi network, or what the deal is, but every, I'd say, 10 or so worlds that I hop, my game will disconnect. And not only will my game disconnect, but my Wi-Fi will like turn off. So I have to turn my Wi-Fi back on, and then I have to relog back in. I mean, I could make the script like detect if I had been logged out and then log back in, but I'd also have to make it like turn my Wi-Fi back on. So that's what confuses me. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is getting shut off when I'm hopping worlds. So like I said, I'm not sure. I have a suspicion it's something to do with like the rune light, but I can't be sure. So yeah, this script is great because this is like really boring to do. I mean, I think Jagex tried to alleviate the pain for Ironman a little bit by, like, I know on Fossil Island they added the method where you can like farm seaweed, and then there's like those lobsters or whatever that drop spores and stuff. I know they tried to alleviate the pain a little bit, but I mean, this still sucks, you know. Yeah, the script works fine. It detects that cyan outline, clicks the guy, buys the supplies, and then it uses these two tiles. It walks back and forth between those two tiles you see there. So it's going to bank and then walk between those two tiles, and that's about it. All right, so I am getting some combat levels up. I was training at goblins. Now I'm going to do cows. And this script is a little different. And I'm kind of going against the, I guess, the spirit of the series here. But this is actually a script that was written with Simba and not with AutoHotkey. But it does this, like, exact same thing. There's really no additional features here. The only thing that's different about this combat script compared to my AutoHotkey one is it clicks the middle of the cow instead of, and it'll click the middle of the cow every single time, which is really nice. With AutoHotkey, you can't really do stuff like that. I mean, you can detect where the outline is, and then you can kind of hard code in, okay, move over, you know, X pixels to the right and X pixels downwards or upwards, but you can't like intelligently click the middle of something. And Simba allows you to do that using some Simba just has a lot more stuff built into it. It's really meant for color detection. But I still really like AutoHotkey because of how simple it is and how quickly you can write scripts with it compared to Simba, which is like, it's a little bit more laborious. But this script works pretty well. I've been using it to get my combat up, and works great. I might even put in a debug screenshot of what Simba is doing. So it just detects the green outline you see there, which you can draw with RuneLight, and it's creating a box around that. And then all I say is, you know, get the middle point of that box and then click it. So that's how it's clicking the middle of the cow. Now, you really don't need these green outlines. It just helps a little bit. And the tool is there, so you may as well use it. But with Simba, you can outline the cows based on like the tops of their backs or something, and it would still be able to find them quite easily. So the green outline is really not necessary. But it definitely would be if you're using AutoHotkey. The color detection in AutoHotkey, by comparison, is like very basic. So using all of the supplies that I got from the Port Khazard buying script, I can now make molten glass. So I made a script that uses the Edgeville furnace to create molten glass, and it just creates it, banks it. That's pretty much it. It's a very easy script to make, and I need a lot of molten glass, so I'm going to be doing lots of this. Lots of buying and lots of furnace making. Now, you do get some experience for making the molten glass, which is nice, but when I start getting a much higher crafting level, I mean, it's really just going to be a waste of time compared to, you know, if you were playing on a regular account, you just buy all the supplies. But that's how it is as an Ironman. You got to do things your own way. You got to be completely self-sufficient. So for this script, I wrote, the only, I guess, semi-interesting thing is I made a new kind of like utility function for, there's a lot of things you do in this game where you're either combining things or transforming things in your inventory, and you want to know when that's done before you go on to, you know, the banking part or whatever you got to do afterwards. So what the function does is it grabs a pixel of the last item in your inventory. It checks what, you know, it grabs the pixel color and it says, okay, this is the start pixel, and we're going to wait until that pixel changes. So that's all it does. All right, so I have some molten glass that I made with my my previous script, and now I can use that to train crafting even more by making these vials. And I think at this point I'm like level 30, 37 crafting, something like that. And I'm just here at the lumberjack bank. Take a massive amount of molten glass, and I really don't know if I want to do that. But I guess really for Ironman it kind of sucks. Like, there's not many alternatives you have for crafting besides molten glass. So I guess I'm going to be doing this for a long time. So this script is just another simple script. Not much to it. Any bank standing skill is honestly quite easy. Literally anyone can make a script like this. Yeah, that's about all I have to say for this clip. It's not too much to it. Okay, so we're changing gears here, and we're gonna get some fishing levels. So this is a script that just catches these shrimp. So this script can be changed to really anything. So if you're fishing for trout, salmon, it's a very simple change in the script. And I'm just dropping the shrimp. I'm not gonna bank them or anything. I would like to get to, I don't know what level you need for barbarian fishing, but I know you get strength and agility experience for that. Honestly, I should have probably started with fishing because I've gained a lot of combat levels since then. I think I'm like level 40 something at this point. So I could have got a lot of free experience if I just gone with fishing, but oh well. So this script is dependent on you see it in the top left there. You see that little interface at the top left? That's something that's RuneLite is doing, I believe. And it's just checking for that green color. And I have a timer set that checks it every, I think, 2 seconds. And if that green text is not there, if that green color isn't there, we're gonna assume that, well, we're not fishing. So we need to check our inventory. If our inventory is full, then we need to drop everything. Then we need to move on to the next spot. And that is just a simple find text. So in RuneLite, you can also highlight the fishing spot with the text there that shows you what can be caught. And it's just going to click on a certain point. That's how the script works, and it's just going to do that infinitely because of that timer. So, you know, I really like fishing. Out of all the skills, like, I don't know, there's just something about fishing that's very satisfying to me to level up. I don't know why. Because fishing isn't particularly useful. I don't know, I just like it. Well, anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this week's video. I made a lot of progress. I haven't shown my stats panel, and I'm trying to avoid that. But I can tell you that at this point, I'm like level 40-something combat. I have my thieving levels in the 60s. Woodcutting is in the 40s. My fishing at this point was like level 30, I think. Crafting, I got up to level 40. So I'm making decent progress. And we still have more things to come. I would like to get my construction up at some point. I'll have to figure out how to do that. I've never made a script for construction, so. Cooking, we have to get my cooking up. Mining is going to be pretty simple. Smithing, I don't know how I'm going to do that. But, yep, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching.